this evening. First, the second suspect in the murder of a sex worker appears in court. We'll have the latest details on this high-profile case and the charges against Shaggy Mohammed. Plus, the Alliance for Change is demanding urgent action to tackle the surge in gun violence following the shocking murders of Jairam Ramkishoon and Evelyn Alves. Find out what measures the party is calling for to make Ghana safer. In other news, with the National Building Exposition just weeks away, nearly 500 exhibitors from around the world are set to showcase the latest innovations in housing and construction. We'll give you a sneak peek of what to expect at this highly anticipated event. Also, the Quarantine River Bridge project, which aims to enhance connectivity between Ghana and Suriname, is awaiting financial approval from China. Learn more about the plans and potential economic benefits of this major infrastructure project. And in international news, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris officially launched her presidential campaign, claiming she has enough support to secure the Democratic nomination. Stay tuned for more on her historic bid for the White House and more coming up on tonight's broadcast. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for July 23rd, 2024. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, 23-year-old Shaggy Mohammed, the second suspect in the murder of sex worker Sean Simon, appeared in Georgetown Magistrates Court and was charged with murder on Monday, July 22, 2024. Mohammed joined Akeem Fraser, who was charged with the same offense last Friday. Both suspects have been remanded to prison. Mohammed appeared before Magistrate Faith McGusty, who read the indictable charge to Mohammed, who will return to court on August 12, 2024 for further proceedings. The incident occurred on July 11 near King Street and South Road, Georgetown, where Simon was in the company of another sex worker. According to investigators, Fraser was a passenger in the car used during the shooting with Mohammed driving. Fraser has admitted to shooting at Simon, who was reportedly involved in a dispute with Mohammed. Mohammed allegedly fired multiple rounds at Simon from the car, resulting in Simon's death approximately 100 feet from the scene. Police recovered 9 spent shells from 2 9mm pistols at the scene. The Alliance for Change is demanding immediate action in response to a recent surge in gun violence. In a press release, the party expressed deep concerns over the recent killing of 69-year-old Jairam Ramkishoon in Westminster Housing Scheme during an attempted robbery. This follows the shocking execution-style murder of Evelyn Alves in Diamond East, Bank Demerara. The AFC calls on all Guyanese to voice their outrage and push for more robust measures from the government and the Ghana Police Force. They believe the country needs a severe moral awakening and a firm response to the frequent shooting and killing that have become alarmingly common. The party pointing out the past efforts to improve security, like the Citizen Security and Strengthening Program, which seems to be stalled. They are urging the Ghana Police Force to use better methods to track and address gun violence, such as identifying high-risk individuals and mapping out crime hotspots. They also address the need for clear, detailed reports on crime statistics and how funds are used to tackle violence. The AFC argues that investing in better security measures is essential and affordable compared to the high cost of violence, including medical bills and lost productivity. They want the Ghana Police Force and the Ministry of Home Affairs to show that the money is being used effectively to fight gun violence. The press release highlights the urgency of the situation and calls for a united effort to make Ghana safer for everyone. On a different note, with only a few weeks remaining until the highly anticipated building exposition at the National Stadium at Providence, 95% of booths have already been allocated. This is according to the Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell. Nearly 500 exhibitors and corporate sponsors are expected to participate, including international exhibitors from Italy, Barbados, USA, Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, Indonesia, and Brazil. The expo will feature over 345 booths, showcasing innovations in housing construction, solar energy, logistics, financial, and forestry sectors. Housing models such as core homes, prefabricated homes, and young professional homes will be on display. The event theme, Building on the Foundation of Sustainability and Unity, is a collaboration between the Ministry of Housing and Water and the Small Business Bureau. It allows small business entrepreneurs to showcase their products and services and network with industry professionals. The expo, set for August 8th to the 11th, is not just an event but a platform that aims to unite homeowners, potential homeowners, and businesses from various sectors under one roof, fostering a sense of community and shared purpose. Stick around when we return. 2,000 house lots to be allocated at upcoming Building Expo, and Corentyne River Bridge project awaits Chinese financing approval.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Earl Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoons, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton, and Camp Street. Kissoons Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
See clearly with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Housing and Water will allocate a whopping 2,000 house lots during its Dream Realized exercise at the International Building Exposition, which will be held from August 8th to 11th at the National Stadium in Providence. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crone highlighted the government's aggressive housing program, noting that 34,000 house lots have already been allocated to date. This year, the ministry aims to allocate 4,500 house lots, with an additional 6,000 planned to meet the target of 50,000. Minister Crone emphasized the process of the housing initiative, with 3,435 houses built and over 1,750 distributed. Ongoing housing projects span regions 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, and 10. The government is also acquiring more land to develop new housing areas in response to increasing demands. This effort aims to relieve many who aspire to own homes but lack the time to design and build them. In other news, the Corentyne River Bridge, aimed at improving connectivity between Guyana and Suriname, is pending financial approval from China. Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgehill announced this during a meeting with the Upper Corentyne Chamber of Commerce. The project, which has completed its tender process and selected a preferred contractor, involves Suriname's President Santokhi visiting China with a letter from himself and President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali to secure the financing. Once approved, construction will commence. The bridge is expected to last 100 years and will take 3 years to build. The bridge will connect South Durain to Molson Creek via Long Island, including infrastructural developments on Long Island to enhance connectivity and open new farmlands, boosting job creation and agricultural production. Preparatory works, including roads and bridges from Molson Creek to El Dorado, have already begun, with further plans to extend to Oriala. To boost the bridge's economic viability, a free zone along the Long Island corridor, along with hotels, water sports facilities, and a farmer's market, is proposed. Don't go away after the break. U.S. Secret Service Director admits Trump shooting an operational failure, and Philippines' State of the Nation. President Marcos Jr. addresses the nation amid protests.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Crow Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. How small to make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services. 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton, and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Thompson-Greenfield, visited Haiti to meet leaders of the new transitional government and Kenyan police supporting a UN-backed force addressing gang violence. Her one-day trip aims to encourage humanitarian action and political reform for 2026 elections. Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield will announce initiatives related to Haiti's security and humanitarian issues. Gangs control up to 80% of Port-au-Prince, causing a humanitarian crisis with 580,000 displaced and 4 million facing food insecurity. The U.S. has provided over $300 million to support the multinational force. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has formally launched her campaign to become the president and says she has already secured the support of enough Democratic delegates to clinch her party's nomination. Al Jazeera's Mike Hanna reports.
Vice President Harris meets members of what is now her campaign staff in Wilmington, Delaware, hometown of President Biden, who's still recovering from COVID and who addressed the meeting by phone.
The name has changed at the top of the ticket, but the mission hasn't changed at all.
As the vice president started speaking, the president made clear he was still on the phone.
I'm watching you, kid. I love you.
I love you, Joe.
And Kamala Harris threw down the gauntlet to Donald Trump, referring back to her time as prosecutor and state attorney general.
Predators who abused women. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
In the wake of President Biden's decision not to contest the election, what began as a trickle of endorsements for Kamala Harris has become a flood.
Today, I am fired up to endorse Kamala Harris.
Multiple state governors have expressed their support, some of whom were considered potential challengers for the nomination.
Not only because of how honorably she has served in the past, but how absolutely ready she is to be president.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also gave her endorsement. This is particularly significant, as she'd previously argued for an open convention in which the nomination would be contested.
And she's exciting the country.
While praising Kamala Harris, the two Democratic Party leaders in Congress have not yet formally endorsed her. This seen by some as a reluctance to put a finger on the scale. Earlier in the day, Vice President Harris made her first public appearance since starting to seek the Democratic Party nomination, hosting an event at the White House celebrating student athletes, and she heaped praise on her former running mate.
Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history.
Campaign organizers say in 24 hours a record $81 million was donated, 66% of it from people who have not given before, a definitive indication of the impact Harris is already having on the party's grassroots support. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.
The director of the U.S. Secret Service has told members of Congress that her officers failed in their duty to protect Donald Trump. The Republican presidential candidate was grazed by a bullet during a rally in Pennsylvania. Kimberly Chittle said it was her agency's worst operational failure in decades. Al Jazeera's Shahabra Tansi reports.
Her right hand.
Despite calls for her resignation, Secret Service Director Kimberly Chittle refuses to do so, arguing it's her role now to monitor the various inquiries into the security lapses that led up to the assassination attempt against Donald Trump.
On July 13th, we failed. I am dedicated to finding the answers to what happened, and like every Secret Service agent, we don't shirk from our responsibilities. I will remain on and be responsible to the agency, to this committee, to the former president, and to the American public.
Chittle pledged transparency but refused to answer key questions, notably how it was possible that a roof in such proximity to Trump's podium at his Pennsylvania rally on July the 13th could be left unsecured, not even inside the security perimeter. Chittle said she was waiting for the results of the investigations, and that may take up to 2 months to complete. She did, however, confirm that the 20-year-old gunman had been flagged as suspicious but not as a threat, so Secret Service didn't stop the rally, and that the would-be assassin had used a rangefinder and reportedly a drone to case the site.
I have to assume that they did not know that there was a threat when they brought the president out on the stage.
However, Chittle denied that the Trump campaign had been rebuffed in its request for extra security at this particular event.
Look, I believe, Director Chittle, that you should resign.
Her performance was met with frustration and incredulity among members.
The safety of Secret Service protectees is not based on their political affiliation. And the bottom line is that under Director Chittle's leadership, we question whether anyone is safe. Not President Biden, not the First Lady, not the White House, and certainly not the presidential candidates.
Over the course of 4 hours and 40 minutes, Cheetle insisted that there would be accountability, but not her resignation.
I take full responsibility for any security lapse of our agency. We are fully cooperating with ongoing investigations.
Several investigations are underway, including a bipartisan task force appointed by the Department of Homeland Security. But in the meantime, Cheetle's testimony has only added to the bipartisan calls for her to go. Shia Brutansi, Al Jazeera, Capitol Hill.
In the Philippines, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered the shutdown of all online casino businesses, most of which are Chinese-owned, during his State of the Nation address on Monday. It comes amid a high-profile investigation that has uncovered human trafficking, financial fraud, and other crimes, Al Jazeera's Barnaby Lowe reports.
In his third State of the Nation address, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. touted a fast-growing economy. On track, he said, to deliver upper middle-income status to millions.
Our poverty rate has significantly dropped to 15.5%, down from 18% in 2021.
But outside Congress, where Marcos delivered his speech, thousands who gathered to protest say he's out of touch, as gas and food prices remain high.
The recently approved daily minimum wage hike of less than $1 isn't enough.
It's a sentiment shared by many Filipinos.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. was elected by an overwhelming majority of people, but his popularity appears to be fading, with the latest opinion poll showing his approval rating falling to 53%. And in another survey, nearly 60% of Filipinos rated themselves as poor.
Minister, to put it simply,
what most Filipinos do support is Marcos's foreign policy. He shored up international support for the Philippines' claims in the South China Sea.
The Philippines cannot yield.
While also working to settle the territorial dispute with China diplomatically. Ahead of his address, the Foreign Ministry announced that a deal with Beijing on resupplying Filipino troops at sea has been reached, though details remain unclear. The two countries are also very much on the same page on the issue of online gambling, as Marcos announced the total ban of the mostly Chinese operations that are illegal in China.
Disguising as legitimate entities, their operations have ventured into illicit areas furthest from gaming. The grave abuse and disrespect to our system of laws must stop.
A standing ovation from legislators followed the order that may prevent public support for Marcos from sliding further. Barnaby Lowe, Al Jazeera, Manila.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 30 weather forecast. And that's it to be 2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.